Every single NFL draft, there's a handful of prospects that we find severely underappreciated, the diamonds in the rough. We're going to talk about those today in a snake draft between Metro, B. Ross, and myself. It's going to be a fun one. Let's start with B. Ross. He's kicking off this snake draft, then Metro, then to me, and we'll go back and forth. And I'm curious who we're going to talk about today, guys. These are the gems in the rough. B. Ross, kick us off.
So, my first pick, I'm going to go with a guy I got to actually scout a little bit, and then he transferred to a rival school, which is crazy to me. But anyway, Kendall Daniels, utility safety linebacker from Oklahoma. Um, I'm not sure where he plays at the next level. He probably plays linebacker, if I had to guess. But you're talking about long, athletic, and he can run. Just simple as that. And he likes to hit. I question him in coverage when he plays deep, but as he's been playing this year close to the line, he actually looks a lot more comfortable. So he's one of those guys. If you need, size and speed on your defense, he's somebody that you're looking for early day 3.
Okay, I was going to ask you what round you think he goes to. What do you think, in terms of like what his primary role is going to be on a defense, what do you think it is probably going to end up being? More of a close to the line of scrimmage guy, someone who's kind of a hybrid player? What's your thoughts with that?
He's gonna be a linebacker to me. Like someone's just
Ooh.
gonna teach him how to play linebacker. Like I can
How
see him
big is he?
playing like he's all of 6'4", like 230, 240,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
he was a
that's about right.
safety where he was like, he was 6'3", 200, like, frail kid, but his body has changed. He's gotten bigger and stronger, but the skill set is that of a safety still. He's just bigger, but I don't think he can play safety at that size in today's NFL. So yeah, I can see him playing, like a Sam Backer on base downs, playing over in the slot, and then third down, sliding inside, and being a special teams demon. Like, you got size and speed, you can, at the least, you're going to be really good at special teams.
Awesome pick right there, B. Ross. That was our 101. Now we're going to our 102. Metro, who's cooking and who's coming off the board right here?
Got to be honest with you, there's so many different names, and you guys can see the pool of names down below, but there's also a ton more that we can talk about. I'm going to go with the guy that I don't think any of us have ever talked about on this channel. I'm going to go with Tim Keenan, the interior defensive lineman out of Alabama. This is somebody who last year weighed in about 350 pounds. Now he's dropped down to 315. The bad news about Tim Keenan, he had an injury this year, and he looked like a different player after the injury, but prior to the injury and in 2024, I was a big fan of this guy. I caught on to his tape probably about a week ago, and since then I'm like, okay, I kind of like this guy. This is one of those players that nobody talks about that I think this is like a brick wall up the middle, right? 6'2", about 315 pounds. I think his play gets worse as games go on. Part of that's because of the injury. Part of that's because he used to be 350 pounds. He's played like 50 snaps in a game. By snap 50, you're going to start to see him get moved around a little bit. That all said, in the NFL, he's probably only going to play 25, 30 snaps. He's just going to be a first and second down interior defensive piece that's going to be really in on rundowns and occasionally on pass downs. So I'm not too worried about that. But he's kind of a traditional nose tackle, modern 3 technique, hand in the dirt, resets the line of scrimmage. He can knock blockers backwards. He's got a low leverage build. He's got strong, powerful hands. I like his lateral agility for his size, and I think as he starts to continue to get used to his body and as he gets healthier and as he kind of continues to add more pieces to his pass rush element, I think there is an upside to be a decent pass rusher. But you want to talk about a brick wall up the middle that's going to be hard to push around, that's Tim Keenan for you.
Awesome stuff right there. I just learned about Tim, so thank you, Metro. The definition of underappreciated. Now we're up to me, and I have 2 back-to-back picks. I'm curious who I want to take here. I'll start with one that's definitely getting more appreciated as time goes on, but underappreciated, I think, at his potential ceiling. I think Kaytron Allen has had a really strong back half of 2025. Not about it. Did you want him? Did you want him, Metro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Dude,
hoping
it's
you
so
thought of
free.
me in the third round. I always thought of me in the third round.
It's so free. Kaytron Allen has been the definition, I would say, of efficient. He just shows great vision in between the tackle blocks. He also has the size to take on that contact against top-tier defenders, the kind of defenders he will see in the NFL. What's his only drawback? Top-end speed. That's legitimately it. But you even have guys like, I'd say, completely different build. But like for example, Bucky Irving when he came out of college, he could hit the second level and gain about 25 yards at a time, but he wasn't running away from anybody. Different top speed, but just the kind of same way we can see the effectiveness of a running back that can get to the second level, but not break through the third and score a touchdown on every play. So Katron Allen, hyper efficient, really good vision, great contact balance. I'm going to take him here in the first round. And following that, I'm going to go with another offensive player that just I'm going to make my team a fantasy football team. Let's take Zachariah Branch, the Georgia wide receiver. Now, hey, that's okay. That's okay. I love the hate. Mr. Branch for Georgia. He's a juice box. That's his most simplest way I can put him. He's not the biggest guy. He only weighs 180, standing at 5'10". He's a junior this year. He likely comes out this year into the draft. I don't see why he wouldn't be. I believe he was a 5-star recruit. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was a big deal coming out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no questions asked. He's from USC originally, but here he is. What does he do? He forces missed tackles. He has the third most screen catches in the entire nation and the third most screen yards. It's clear how teams like to use him. Simply, your run game, if it's not working, let's just throw bubble screens to Zachariah Branch, and we're going to get the same effectiveness out of those plays. So he's got the juice, great short area quickness and burst, and also he can make some people miss tackles as well. I'm going to take him here in the second round and give it back to Metro at 202.
Yeah, with Zachariah Branch, I would love to know, and I'm kind of trying to do it right now as I'm talking. I would love to know what his average depth of target is. It's probably like
it's
probably
than,
like ridiculous.
Less than
1.7 yards.
Less than 3.
3.3.
3.3. That would completely check out. This is a dude that you're not going to get a ton from down the field, but get this guy the ball in space. Good luck with that one. All right, I'm going to go with the low-hanging fruit with this pick. I went with the deep bag one. Now I'm just going to go with the guy that is completely my guy. I'm going to go Chris Johnson, the San Diego State corner. Listen, this is a guy that does get a lot of conversations, but I think the conversations need to be about him being a first-round pick. I don't care about Keith Abney. Sure, he's great. Avion Terrell's great. I like Chris Johnson better. I just do. He is 100% a guy that I would take over them. Now, I do think that in certain systems, certain schemes, maybe a guy like Avion would be better, maybe a guy like Keith would be better. But if you're asking me like what my kind of guy would be, it's Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson is just a lockdown corner, right? He just simply put is one of the concerns about Quinyon Mitchell coming out of college was it's a guy that's a bit undersized. A lot of times he's playing an off technique, lack of competition, stuff like that. Chris Johnson has some similar issues in terms of like he is going up against lesser competition and he's a little bit undersized. He's not the fastest guy in the world either. I just think he's got some of the best technique in this entire draft class. I think he's a tough, fluid athlete. I think he's gritty as a tackler. I know he's not the biggest guy. He's going to miss some tackles here and there. He's definitely not a plus run defender, but damn it, he tries. I just love the fact that in terms of being a lockdown defender, that's exactly what he is. And I'm like, I understand why people have him as a second-round guy. If it was up to me and I'm the GM of like I don't know, Patriots, I'm taking him number 1 overall. Yeah, I said it. I said it. No, I'm kidding. But I would generally take him in the back end of round 1, early round 2. It doesn't get talked about enough in my opinion. I think he's a great player. So Chris Johnson's my second overall pick.
He will be at the Senior Bowl, and so will we. So we'll get to see him go get some top-tier competition. He's at San Diego State. How does he fare against the big dogs in the SEC and the Big Ten? Back to B. Ross. He's got 203 and then 301 back-to-back picks. Who do you want, King?
Like Drake, I'm going back-to-back. So I'm going to take, with this next pick, I don't do short corners, but this dude has proven to be a baller. Give me D'Angelo Pons, man. Like, he don't get enough love, man.
Damn you.
He is, you talking about somebody who just, and like, again, I don't like short corners. They get picked on too much. They do. It's just easy pickings. But what he did versus Jeremiah Smith in the Big Ten championship was impressive. You talking about he's scrappy, he's combative, he has good feet, good hips. He actually runs better than I actually give him credit for watching his tape. Like, he's an easy mover when he has to really like open up and go. But I don't think he gets enough love. But I know why he doesn't get that love, because he's 5'9". Because if he was 5'10", 5'11", this would be a different conversation. He would be talked about the same way Terrell is talked about, probably, because they're similar statures. honestly. But D'Angelo Ponce, true baller. And with my next pick, I'm going to go with another small guy. Since you took Zachariah Branch, give me Deion Burks, Oklahoma.
Ooh. Ooh.
Baller. I mean, if you watch the games this weekend, you saw it. Like they really didn't have an answer for him. But I think he's dynamic with the ball in his hands, but he can get behind the defense like it's nothing else. Like that's what separates him from Zachariah. Like downfield, he can be a threat as well, but also in the screen and the RPO game. So give me Deion Burks since you bastards want to take all my guys.
Us bastards enjoy taking your players, B. Ross. Let's go to Metro at 302. And by the way, love the picks, obviously.
I don't. 'Cause I would have taken D'Angelo Ponds. Look, real quick on D'Angelo Ponds. That Ohio State game, like, sure, there was some plays he might have given up here and there. He was so competitive in that game, just trying his absolute damnedest versus Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith at 5'9" maximum, probably more like 5'8", maybe 170 pounds, soaking wet. This dude's tiny out there. Jeremiah Smith made him look like a middle schooler, but damn it, that kid tried, and I love it. That's all I can ask for out of a guy. All right, I'm back up. I have Tim Keenan and Chris Johnson. I think I'm gonna go with Carter Smith. No Carson Beck. I'm gonna take Carter Smith, the offensive tackle out of Indiana. This is a guy that, if you're looking for an offensive tackle, he could also potentially kick inside to play guard if you need him to. But if you're looking for a tackle in a very thin tackle class, I like Carter Smith more than a couple other names that people throw around. I see Blake Miller thrown around all the time, and I like Blake Miller. I like Carter Smith a little bit more. Elite athlete, good size, good frame to him. I think he recovers well. He fits in a lot of zone schemes. Got a very high ceiling. Play strength is a little bit of a con right now. I think his hand placement could be erratic. He's not the best run blocker, but as a pure pass protector, that's what you get the big bucks for. And I think he has a very high ceiling to be a very good run defender when he kind of gets that mauler mentality. But he's one of the more athletically gifted players in this cycle. He actually has a background in volleyball. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Whoa.
He's got a background in volleyball as a 305-pound man. So, hey, if he's got the lightness on his feet, that's all that matters. And I think this is somebody that should be taken probably round 2. And I think he's maybe somebody that could maybe benefit from sitting a year or so, or if he plays immediately, why not? But right now he's getting a lot of talks about being a late 3rd, early 4th. I like him round 2. I think this guy's a potential difference maker at tackle, either left or right. I believe he plays left for Indiana. But yeah, I like this guy. This is a dude that I think you should keep an eye on. And when your team drafts him, instead of crying about, oh, we got a white boy tackle, now this guy can play. This guy's a dog.
Metro, that is why they pay you the big bucks, man. Expert analysis and the deep cut that he played volleyball back in the day.
Well, I bring up the white boy tackle thing because I've done that many times. Many times.
You just write him off? You write him
Well,
off?
when the Cowboys took Zach Martin a few years ago, I'm sitting there like, was that the year that Johnny Manziel was going pro?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I wanted Johnny Manziel that draft. Now,
I've heard about that too.
well, I mean, I was like 9 years old at the time, so of course I'm out there throwing the money signs up. I want Johnny Money out there. Thank the heavens that I was not. Thank Jerry Jones. You hit on that one, buddy. You hit on that one.
You and I heard actually Steven wanted, of course, Martin, but it seemed like you and Jerry both pulling for Money Manziel. So
Gotta hear that.
Man, you and Jerry the same person. Destiny
Checks
would be
out.
so much different if y'all took Manziel. But here we are. In the 3rd round, it's up to my pick. I love the Carter Smith analysis.
Wait.
I'm going to take
Hold
an
on,
edge
hold on,
rusher.
hold on, hold
Oh,
on.
go ahead.
Jerry
not
Jones is a
gonna
very
skip over-
questionable history.
You're not gonna,
Jerry
you're not
Jerry
gonna
is a very
skip over
You made
it
the
questionable
like
comp.
that,
You
bro.
made the comp. It wasn't
You're
me.
right.
You made
I
the
did
comp.
make the
You're
comp,
not
but I
gonna
want to
skip
make
over
sure
that like that.
I want to
You
make
said
sure I clarify that
you
my
and Jerry
comp
Jones, same person.
is without
That
the
is
history.
that is
all
not
right?
the comp. That's not the comp
Jerry,
you
we've
want.
all seen the pictures, buddy. Hey, let's. I'm not that. All right. I'm a Johnny Manziel guy like Jerry is though. So shout out to Jerry Jones, man.
They're the same person. No, not at all. Metro is a good soul. I can assure you that. Third round. We got V Ross dying on the mic.
Okay, I'm done. All right.
Metro,
I'm
if
back.
you love Johnny Manziel so much, you love his character. Is that why you wanted to take him?
Honestly, okay, again, I should reference this.
Can you relate to it?
I'm 23 now. I was, 9 years old? Maybe at highest 12. I can't remember what year he came out. Maybe 10 or 11, something like that. Yeah, of course I could relate to him. Everybody wanted to be Johnny Manziel. I mean, we didn't, at that age, I didn't know he was smoking weed. I thought the dude was just out there partying all the time, just having a good time. I'm sitting there like, that looks awesome. I want that on the Dallas Cowboys. Then, Cleveland found out real quickly that dude did not know what to play football.
Want that.
Nope, he did not want this.
That's hilarious. Who you taking,
Good
Case?
thing I wasn't a scout back then. If First and 10 was around a few years ago, we'd be having Johnny Manziel conversations round 1, and I would be pulling for him for the Dallas Cowboys.
Stupid question. With how top heavy this quarterback class has gotten, would Manziel, if we plugged him into today's world, is he going day 2?
No, because Diego Pavia's not going day 2.
With all due respect, different.
Yeah, obviously, but
Money
a lot
was
of similarities too.
Yeah, I'm about to say, as
Had
much
to
as
understand
they're
the question.
different,
I think
as much as they're different, they're actually
today's
very
society is different from how it was then, where Johnny was back then throwing parties, putting up, doing all sort of crazy things. When Diego Pavia was wearing a chain to the Heisman ceremony, people were going crazy on him for wearing a chain and a turtleneck. Yeah, so it's just different nowadays. So probably not.
I think it's a really good point. I didn't realize that because right as Manziel started doing some shady shit, Twitter social media hadn't evolved to the point where things spread like this, like they did,
that. Right.
but not
Yep.
as they do now, right?
No.
It's a different level. And then by the time he
Exactly.
got there in Cleveland and he hit up, I think he went to the Win or something on a Saturday before a game day, and someone saw him in like a fake mustache, it evolved in like 3 years. But enough Johnny Manziel talk, just had to entertain it. Let's go to the third round with my next underappreciated prospect. It's going to be the edge rusher out of Penn State, Danny Dennis Sutton. Now, Sutton, what is he good at? This man is lengthy, tall, and strong as shit. He stands 6'5" to be exact in 265, but pound for pound, he's got the muscle to back up that talk. Danny Dennis Sutton, if I'm going to have him do anything on our team, he's going to set edge rushers. He's going to set the edge for our defense for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You cannot run to the outside when Danny is setting the edge. He has elite length. He gives tackles fits all day long. He has good hand placement as well, which is why he can set these edges so well as well. So, Danny, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think his pass rush bag can improve over time, but I like the base of what I'm getting in the run game. I'm going to put him there in the third round. And going to the fourth round, my next player is going to be Austin Barber. Barber's a player a lot different than Danny, as in he's got size, but not quite the length you want. But when you watch the tape, I think he moves extremely well for that size and could find a role on an offensive line room in the NFL. Like, if I look at pure tape and just take away measurements, I think Austin Barber could play against anybody. But realistically, when we get to the NFL, you're going to have guys like Myles Garrett, guys with freakish wingspans that just he cannot, how do I say this? I don't want to say compete because that's rude, but have a fair fight is the best way to say it. So Austin Barber, a really good tackle for you in a pinch, and maybe he plays guard, and he's got good movement skills. I think I like his career trajectory long term. Let's go to Metro. Metro, it's the fourth round. This is where the deep cuts come in, like your volleyball player knowledge. I want to hear it. Who's next up for you?
Yeah, I'm not sure this is the biggest deep cut in the world, but I'm going to go with Emmett Johnson, the Nebraska running back. This is somebody that when we did our running back rankings, how long ago was this? Maybe a month or two ago at this point. Emmett Johnson was somebody that I had in my top 10, and I believe B-Ross also had in his top 10. And he wasn't getting a ton of buzz at the time, but it's good to see him getting a little bit more praise as a potential day 2 or day 3 guy. Emmett Johnson, 5'11", 200 pounds. He's a gritty, decisive runner. He gets downhill quickly. He brings physicality. He had an incredible year. If I could pull up the numbers for him this year, he had an incredible year for Nebraska. I believe I want to say he led the country in rushing yards. Don't quote me on that, but no, third in the country in rushing yards. 251 carries, 1,451 yards, 12 touchdowns on the season. He was used a decent bit in the passing game too, 46 catches for 370 yards and 3 touchdowns. So a multi-purpose back. I think he's more of a downhill runner, more so than an east-west guy, and I think he fits best in that sort of scheme, that downhill gap scheme, more less than like a zone scheme. But there's a lot of teams that are going to run that sort of system. Teams that want to set the line of scrimmage, be physical. Emmett Johnson fits that style. I think this is in a running back class that honestly is not great, especially depth-wise. Like, it's really Jeremiah Love, Jonah Coleman, Jadarian Price, and then there's a pretty steep fall off. I think it's pretty good now that we have an Emmett Johnson in this class that kind of fills the void between the Jadarian Prices of the world and like the Damon Claibornes of the board, right? I think that's where Emmett Johnson fills in perfectly. He's a round 3, round 4 running back that will be a low investment cost, but is going to pay a ton of dividends in the future because he's going to be a really good starting caliber running back that you can pair opposite to a more twitchier, more athletically gifted player. You pair up Emmett Johnson with him, and that's like the perfect pairing you could have out there. So Emmett Johnson, he's going to be a name you're going to hear probably on Sundays next year or the year after whenever he gets real opportunities. So keep an eye on him.
I was saying that Emmett Johnson, like you were saying, Metro, he seems to be like slowly a favorite for this draft class. Not like a first round guy by any means, but by favorite as in we love the value. We know what we're getting.
Yep.
He's clearly a damn good football player, and I think it's a really good pull right there, Mr. Metro. Let's go to B. Ross. These are your final 2 picks. So, King, make them count. What do you got on the table?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with a edge player who's similar to what you just said. Like, I know what I'm getting, and that's why I really like him. But he doesn't get the same love because he doesn't have the numbers. Joshua Joseph. Thank you, Metro.
Damn you. Damn you. Damn you.
Thank you.
Damn you.
Because you were the one who really like put me onto him because I liked him. But when we did our edge group, it was just I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and watch him. And the more and more I watch him, I like that. I know what I'm getting. Like, to me, I think he should be a day 2 lock, and he will be an early starter. Like, he isn't as like his numbers aren't as pretty as some of the other guys in this draft class. But you're talking about he has size, he has speed, he has length, he can play the run. He is a smart pass rusher. He does a good job of not wasting himself, just running to run. Just, like he does a good job of rushing within the continuity of the D line. That's why I really like him. He's not going to sell out for a sack or pressure like some of these other guys will because they want the numbers. He's a very intelligent football player who's strong at the point of attack. So I think to me he should be a day 2 lock. Like, if you are a 4-3 team, you line up for this, like the Dallas Cowboys. He would be a good fit for Dallas. Like, he isn't as dynamic as as Parsons or even DeMarcus Lawrence, but you know what you're getting. And I like hanging my head on that, opposed to the high upside guy who could be anything. And with my next pick, it's tempting. I'm not gonna do it. With my next pick,
Take Carson Beck. Go for it.
I would never. He shouldn't be on this list. I don't
That's
know.
why he's on the list.
and then I don't know who put him there. One of you, I don't agree with that one. There's so many other guys I can name that no. Did you watch the game this weekend? Just never mind. Okay. Anyway, give me Bray Hubbard, safety from Alabama. And I'm taking Bray for the same reason. Like, Bray has his physical limitations. Like, in coverage, he is going to be very inconsistent. He's a little grabby. He could be over aggressive, but what he does well is he has a nose for the football. He makes plays on the football. He's really good coming downhill, filling the run lane. To me, he's a safe pick in the 4th, 5th round. If you need a safety, if you need depth, like Buffalo shouldn't go get Bray because they already have like 4 of him. They have a whole bunch of Brays, just good quality players who have physical limitations. But I think as your 3rd safety, with maybe he spot starts, he's a really good football player. He's super intelligent, very instinctive, Like you see it in the plays he makes. Like he's always around the ball. Sometimes he over pursues, but that's just him being over very aggressive. He can be over aggressive in the run and pass game, and that gets him beat. But outside of that, I think he's a really good football player who understands how to play the game at a high level. It's just you have to be okay with his physical limitations because they will show up at some point versus a better athlete. But good football player nonetheless.
Can I say something about Joshua Josephs, the guy that I was going to take, by the way, but got ripped out of my hands cold-bloodedly.
Ripped.
Joshua
not fair.
ripped out of my hands completely. Because, all right, here's the thing. Joshua Josephs, if he adds on 10 pounds by the time he gets to the combine, I think he goes. I think he's going to go a lot higher than what people expect him to go. And I think there's going to be players like R. Mason Thomas, Reuben Bain Jr., even David Bailey potentially, these guys with shorter arms. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are not going to like them as much as they might like Joshua Josephs because of the arm length.
Yeah.
Joshua Joseph's arms are almost 35 inches long.
Oh, my God.
In comparison to R. Mason Thomas, I believe R. Mason's are 32 or something along those lines. A lot of the flaws to Joshua Joseph's game is just the fact that he's a bit undersized. So if he puts on the extra weight and gets up to 250, actually, our Mason Thomas's are 31 3/4 inches, so pretty T-Rex arms if you ask me. But Joshua Josephs has the arm length. He's got good height to him. If he just packs on legitimately 10 pounds of muscle in the off season, if he goes out there and bench presses and does it 20 reps, I'm telling you, I think he goes a lot higher than what people might expect for him to go. I think this is the type of guy that teams are going to be more attracted to physically in terms of the way he's put together. And he is a good pass rusher. He has a lot of the same qualities that you like about an R. Mason Thomas. And, I mean, maybe the biggest victim of them all. What's the guy's name from A&M? Cassius Howell, right?
Yeah.
They're great pass rushers, but they got T-Rex arms. They just do. And a lot of teams are going to probably be like, man, if I could take Joshua Joseph, who's got 3-inch longer arms, 4-inch longer arms, and I could take him early in round 2, spend less money on it. I'm just throwing it out there. I think Joshua Joseph goes a lot higher than expected.
Well, that's
Awesome.
why.
Go ahead,
That's
King.
why I said to me he's going to be a day 2 lock. When it's all said and done, day 2 is the lowest he's going to go. I've seen guys like this where you look at their tape and it's something intriguing, and then you see them in person, you see their length and their size, and he's to your point, he doesn't have this big, this huge lower body. He's naturally going to get bigger, and he's going to fill out and get to, a playing weight of probably 255, 257, somewhere up there. And he's going to be scary. It's just going to take a little time, but Joshua Joseph on Team B. Ross.
All right.
Team B. Ross. Snatched from his arms, going to Metro. He wanted Joseph's, but no cigar. Who do you want for your 5th round and final pick, sir?
I'm not gonna lie. I almost want to just quit now because he took my player. That was the frosting on top of the cupcake, right? I had all the ingredients made. I just was missing the frosting, and now I'm just gonna have to suffer with the little. What are the little cartons of frosting you get from Walmart that taste like complete ass? But I'll go. Dang, I'm looking at the board here. I really can't believe you took my guy. I really didn't think you were going to take him. That
person back.
If
no,
he was the
but
guy,
I will take.
You would have taken him sooner.
You're right. Well, I'll be honest with you. I probably would have taken him round 1 if I really, in all honesty. I'm going to go, man, I'm thinking, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go with Landon Robinson. I'm going with the Navy guy. Listen, all right, he might not be drafted. All right, I'm just going to keep it a stack with you. He might not. He's in the Navy Academy. I don't know if he's even going to go in the NFL draft. He might even just serve the country. Either way, salute to you. Thank you for everything that you might do for us. That all said, 6 foot 287. He's on Bruce Feldman's freak list. 465-pound bench press, 665-pound squat, 350-pound power clean. and he had a 33-inch vertical jump and a 20.3 GPS tracked speed. Look, I don't know if he's going to make it in the NFL as a interior defensive lineman, but I believe this is somebody you can kick in and play at fullback, and he's going to be Patrick Ricard in the future. I just love this guy's film. I love the tenacity he plays with. It's not Joshua Josephs, and so I'm like kind of bummed out about it. But Landon Robinson is generally somebody that if you haven't watched this film yet, I highly suggest you do, because it's one of the more fun interior defensive line tape you'll find out there. And the physical tools, unfortunately, kind of hold him back as an interior piece. But look, Poona Ford's, 5'11", and he made it in the league. So, maybe if Landon could put on some weight and survive in the NFL in that position, then cool. If not, I'm telling you, play him at fullback, and we're going to have you'll have a long 10-year career as a fun-ass, big-ass, strong-ass fullback.
I mean, what's cooler than a Navy Academy fullback that just runs into the NFL?
Yeah.
I don't think it gets better than that.
His name's Landon. That's all you need right there.
It's absolutely epic. Good deep cut right there, Metro. I'll cap this off with, I won't go an upside pick, but probably somebody you probably haven't heard about unless you're just an absolute freak show. Not Tate McRae, but the USC tight end Lake McCree. This man, 6'4", 250. Thank you. Basically, his game is he's physical as hell in the run game, moves decently well, and has a decent amount of routes that he runs for what I thought he potentially could. And if you're asking Cade, why'd you make assumptions? He wears sports specs, okay? I'm like, maybe this guy's just like an inline blocker, and that's his only job. No, he runs a decent amount of routes. Does he move like an Oscar Delp? No. Does he move like a Michael Trigg? No. But he moves plenty fine. He could be a solid tight end, too, in the NFL. And if they block a lot, a.k.a. Run the ball a lot, I think he could serve a serious role in an offense. So that's my final pick. We're going to review our teams right now. B. Ross, Metro, then me. Take it away, Mr. B. Ross.
First up, I drafted Kendall Daniels, safety/linebacker from Oklahoma. D'Angelo Pons, corner from Indiana. Deion Burks, receiver from Oklahoma. Joshua Joseph, edge rusher, Tennessee. And Bray Hubbard, safety from Alabama.
All right, my team. Team Keenan, Alabama interior defensive lineman. Chris Johnson, San Diego State corner. Carter Smith, that's going to be the offensive tackle for Indiana. Emmett Johnson, the running back from Nebraska. Landon Robinson, the Navy interior defensive lineman that I believe will be a fullback one day.
Thank you for your service,
putting it out there.
Putting it out there right now. He's going to go in the first round. You heard it here first. Landon's awesome, dude. Landon's awesome. My team, we have Katron Allen, the running back for Penn State University. Next, we have Zachariah Branch, the wide receiver out of Georgia. Danny Dennis Sutton, edge out of Penn State. Two Penn State players. Austin Barber, the right tackle, or technically left tackle from Florida, or probably play right in the NFL, or a guard. Lake McCree, to cap it off, the tight end that wears sports specs out of USC. Guys, these are our underappreciated lists. What player do you know about that we don't, that you think is underappreciated? Go comment down below. If you watched this far in the video, we appreciate you spending your time with us. Go drop a like since you enjoyed it so much. And finally, guys, we're on the road to 1K. We're about 70 subs away. Thanks to y'all. If you're not subbed yet, go sub down below. Be the reason we make it to 1K. Huge milestone. Thank you so much. From the bottom of our hearts, this is B. Ross, Metro, and Kate signing off. Appreciate you. Love you guys. And Metro, get us out of here.
Appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a great, happy holidays, and peace out, guys.